Jared Voss had seen a lot of strange things in space. He was an ex-Marine turned salvager, working on the edge of human space. His job was simple: find old ships, strip them for parts, and sell what he could. Most days were boring. But this day changed everything. It started when his ship, the Iron Sparrow, picked up a faint signal near a dead wormhole. Wormholes didn't last long, and this one had collapsed centuries ago. Nothing should have been there. But the signal was real. Weak, repeating, like a heartbeat. Jared followed it. What he found was a wrecked alien ship. Big, black, half melted from some kind of blast. It floated silently in the dark like a ghost. No flags, no IDs, just silence. Jared docked with it carefully. He wore his suit, armed with only a sidearm and tools. Inside, the air was thin but breathable. Lights flickered, wires hung from walls. The place looked like it had been abandoned in a hurry. He moved slowly through the halls. Then he heard it. A soft sound, like breathing. Painful breathing. In a small room filled with broken machines, he saw her. She was small, young, not human. Her skin was pale blue, almost glowing in the dim light. Her eyes were closed. Long black hair stuck to her face. She wore torn clothes that looked like armor once. Now they were just rags. Jared checked her pulse. Weak. Fast. She was hurt. Bad. He called his base. Base, this is Voss. I've got a survivor. Repeat, I've got a survivor. Static. Then a voice. Voss, you know the rules. Biologicals. Stay on board. We take tech only. Jared looked at the girl again. No, he said. Not this time. He carried her back to his ship. Back on the colony world of New Haven, people stared. Scientists came. Medics checked her. Nobody knew what she was. She wasn't in any database. No known species matched her DNA. But she was alive. That night, Jared sat by her bed in the clinic. She looked peaceful now. Tubes ran into her arms. Machines beeped softly. He remembered war zones. He remembered friends dying. He remembered being told not to care, but he did. This girl didn't ask to be found. She didn't ask to survive, but she did. And now she was someone's problem. His problem. 2 weeks passed. She woke up slowly. At first, she didn't speak, just watched, listened. Her eyes were sharp, smart. She studied everything. Then one day, she pointed at him and said, "You saved me." Her voice was quiet, her accent thick, but she spoke English. Jared smiled. "Yeah, I did." She thought for a moment, then nodded. "My name is Lyra." That was the start. Over the next few weeks, Lyra learned fast. She used computers, watched videos, practiced speaking. She asked questions about Earth, about humans, about stars. She remembered little of her own past, just flashes, a planet burning. People screaming, running, hiding. "I think my people were running," she told Jared one night. "From what?" he asked. She shook her head. "I don't know, but it was bad. Doctors kept checking her. They found out she healed faster than humans. Her blood was different, stronger, smarter somehow. They also found something else. She wasn't fully grown yet. Her body was still changing, still developing. She's like a kid," one doctor said, "but not like any kid we know." Jared took her in, gave her a home. She slept in the guest room, ate his food, watched his movies, laughed at his jokes. She started calling him Jared, not sir, not rescuer, just Jared. Sometimes she would sit beside him and look at the stars. "They are beautiful," she said once. Jared looked too. "They are," he agreed. He didn't know why. He kept her. Why he protected her. Maybe because she reminded him of someone he lost, or maybe because he felt like he owed the universe something. But he knew one thing. Lyra was special, and he was going to keep her safe, even if he didn't know what he was getting into. Lyra grew quickly, faster than any human child. Within a year, she looked like a teenager. Her body changed. Her voice deepened. She stood taller, but her mind was even more surprising. She learned everything fast. Languages, math, science. She could fix machines after watching someone else do it once. She asked questions that made scientists pause. Why do humans fight so much? Why? Don't you use your brains to build instead of break? What is love? Jared didn't always have answers, but he tried. One day, a team of scientists came to New Haven. They were from Earth. Big names, big money. They wanted to study Lyra. She's not a lab rat, Jared told them. They smiled politely. One said, "We just want to understand her. She might hold the key to new medicine, new tech." Jared said no, but the word got out. People started talking. Some called Lyra a miracle. Others called her dangerous. There were rumors online, videos, photos. Some people said she wasn't alone, that there might be more like her, hidden, waiting. Lyra didn't care about the rumors. She cared about one thing, finding out who she was. One night, she sat with Jared on the roof of his house. The stars were bright. "I remember more now," she said. Jared looked at her. "You do?" She nodded. "I think I was born on a ship, not a planet. A big ship. We were moving, always moving." "Running?" Jared asked. "Yes," she whispered. "From something bad." Jared frowned. "Do you know what?" "No," she said. "But I think my people, they're gone." There was silence. Then she looked at him. "I'm the last." Jared felt a pain in his chest. He had lost people too. Friends, family. War did that. But this was different. She had lost everything. He put a hand on her shoulder. "You're not alone," he said. "Not anymore." She smiled. Just a little. A few months later, Lyra had a checkup at the clinic. Same place where she first woke up. This time she walked in by herself. The doctor was new. Dr. Kell. Tall. Serious. He scanned her again. Checked. Her blood. Took notes, then he paused. "What?" Lyra asked. Dr. Kell looked up slowly. "Your DNA. It has markers we've seen before." "In who?" she asked. "In humans." Lyra blinked. "That's not possible." "It is," he said. "You and humans share a common ancestor, but very far back. So far back it shouldn't be possible unless—" "Unless what?" she pressed. "Unless someone made you. Or us." Lyra didn't speak for a long time. Later she told Jared what the doctor said. He didn't look surprised. "You ever think maybe you're not just some random alien kid?" he asked. She looked at him. "What do you mean?" "I mean, maybe you were chosen. Maybe you were meant to survive." Lyra thought about that. And then, for the first time, she wondered, maybe she wasn't just running from something. Maybe she was running toward something. Something important. Weeks passed. Life went on. Lyra trained. She ran. She lifted weights. She learned how to shoot, not because she wanted to hurt anyone, but because she wanted to protect herself. She also started dreaming. Strange dreams, a city underwater, a sky burning red, a voice calling her name. Sometimes she woke up crying. Other times she woke up smiling. Jared noticed. "You okay?" he asked one morning. She nodded. "I think I'm remembering more." "About your people?" "Yes," she said. "And about why they sent me away." "They sent you away?" She looked at him. "I think I was. Never supposed to stay. I was supposed to find someone." "Find who?" She smiled softly. "You." Jared didn't know what to say, so he just hugged her. And for the first time in a long time, he felt like he had a reason to keep going. A year passed. Lyra had grown more confident, more sure of herself. She looked almost fully grown now. Her body had changed, and so had her mind. She was no longer the lost girl Jared had found on that broken alien ship. She was becoming someone new. One morning at breakfast, Lyra didn't eat much. She just sat there, looking pale. Jared noticed. "You okay?" She nodded slowly. "I feel strange." He frowned. "Strange how?" "I don't know," she said. "Tired. My head hurts, and something inside me feels different." Jared took her to the doctor again. Dr. Kell ran tests, blood work, scans. Then he stared at the screen for a long time without speaking. Lyra leaned forward. "What is it?" The doctor looked up. "You're pregnant." There was silence. Jared's eyes went wide. "What? You're going to have a baby," Dr. Kell said softly. Lyra blinked. "That's not possible." "It is," the doctor said. "And the father's DNA is human." They both looked at Jared. He froze. His mouth opened, then closed. He couldn't speak. Lyra stood up slowly. This can't be right. But it was. Her scans showed a growing child inside her. Healthy. Growing fast. And the genetic markers were clear. Half human. How? Jared finally managed to ask. Dr. Kell shook his head. "We don't know. Her body adapts, it changes. Maybe her species was made to survive in any environment, even with other species." Jared turned to Lyra. "Do you know about this? About your kind being able to do this?" She looked scared. "No, I've never heard of this." Then her voice dropped. "But maybe it's part of why I was sent here." News spread quickly. Even though Jared tried to keep it quiet, someone leaked the results. A week later, reporters showed up. Scientists called. Governments asked questions. Then came the others. Military men, men in suits, people who didn't smile. They wanted Lyra. They wanted the baby. They said things like, "This could change everything for humanity. We need to study the child. It might hold the key to interstellar survival." Jared said no. They kept coming. One night, 2 men showed up at his door. "We're from the Human Defense Council," one said. "We need to take her in for protection." "She's safe here," Jared replied. "This isn't a request," the second man said. "You're not cleared to care for this kind of asset." Jared shut the door. Later that night, he told Lyra, "We need to leave." "Where?" she asked. "Anywhere but here." They packed what they could. Lyra didn't argue. She knew it wasn't safe anymore. She could feel it. The dreams had gotten stronger. Visions of war, of fire, of people chasing her across stars. She wasn't just carrying a baby. She was carrying something important, something powerful. They left New Haven under cover of darkness, took a transport ship to a mining colony on the edge of known space, lived quietly, changed their names, but people still found them. First, a scientist tried to sneak into their room, saying he only wanted to help. Jared broke his nose and tossed him out. Then came bounty hunters, not humans, aliens, tall, thin, eyes like black holes. They spoke in a language Lyra understood. "Give us the child, or die." They fought. Jared used old soldier skills. Lyra used new ones. They barely escaped. After that, they stopped running. They started planning. On a cold moon orbiting a dead planet, Jared and Lyra met others like them, people hiding from the world. Some were scientists, some were soldiers, some were aliens. One man, an old trader named Kale, told them stories. "There are more of you," he said. "Children born between species, hidden across the stars." Lyra listened closely. "They are special," Kale continued. "Born from pain, from loss, but also from love." Jared looked at her, at the small round shape beneath her shirt. He finally whispered, "So, what does that make us?" Kyle smiled. Parents. Lyra touched her belly. She looked at Jared, then out at the stars. I think we're not just protecting our baby, she said. I think we're protecting the future. Jared nodded. Then let them come, he said. Whoever tries to hurt you or our child, they'll have to go through me first. Lyra smiled. For the first time since waking up on that wrecked ship, she felt safe and ready. Jared and Lyra knew they couldn't stay on the cold moon forever. The bounty hunters had found them once. They would find them again. And next time, they wouldn't come alone. So they moved. They traveled from world to world, always staying ahead of danger. Sometimes they landed on peaceful farming colonies. Other times on rough mining outposts or floating space stations with no laws. Everywhere they went, people talked about them. Did you hear? A human man and an alien girl are hiding somewhere. She's carrying something special, something powerful. The council wants her back, dead or alive. Jared didn't care what anyone said. He only cared about keeping Lyra and their child safe. But Lyra was changing, not just her body, though she was growing rounder now, showing clearly that she was going to have a baby. It was her mind, too. She started seeing things in dreams. Things that hadn't happened yet. One night she woke up screaming. Jared ran to her. What is it? He asked, holding her close. She shook her head. I saw fire, ships falling from the sky, people running. I saw him. Him who? The child, she whispered. He was older, talking, telling me we're not safe anywhere. Jared held her tighter. Then we'll keep moving. We'll find someone who can help us. I think I already know who, she said. They followed a lead to a hidden station orbiting a dead star. No maps showed it. No records listed it. But Kyle, the old trader, had given them a name. If you want answers, go see Dr. Mira Solon. Dr. Solon used to work for the Human Defense Council. Then she disappeared. Rumors said she left because she didn't agree with how the government treated alien life. When Jared and Lyra found her, she was living in secret with other scientists who had walked away from the system. She looked at Lyra's scans, listened to her dreams, watched how she could sense things before they happened. Then she said, You're not just carrying a baby, you're carrying a future. Lyra frowned. What do you mean? Dr. Solon took a deep breath. Your species wasn't just running from something. They were trying to survive, to continue. That's why your body changed. Why it accepted human DNA. Your people built themselves to adapt, to live through anything. So my child, Lyra began, is the next step, Dr. Solon finished. For both of you. Jared didn't like the sound of that. No one's turning my kid into a lab experiment, he said. It's not that, Dr. Solon said gently. It's bigger than that. This child isn't just half human, it's not just half alien, it's something new. A bridge between two worlds. Lyra looked at Jared. We're not just protecting our family anymore. No, he said quietly. We're protecting something the whole galaxy wants. The hunt got worse after that. First came spies, people pretending to be friendly, asking too many questions. Then came more bounty hunters, some human, some alien. One group tried to take Lyra during a stop on a desert planet. They ambushed them outside a market. Jared fought like a soldier again. Lyra fought like something else, faster, stronger, smarter. They escaped, just barely. Later she told Jared, I felt something when I fought them, like I knew what they were going to do before they did it. You've been having those dreams longer than you told me, haven't you? He asked. She nodded. Since I was little, I thought they were just memories. Now I'm not sure. One night, while looking at the stars, Lyra said, There are others like me. Jared turned to her. What? I felt them, she said, in my dreams. Children born between species, hidden across the galaxy. Some don't even know what they are. Jared sat down beside her. So what do we do? She smiled softly. We find them. Before the wrong people do. Jared looked at her belly, then at the stars. I guess this is where being a dad starts, he said. Not just protecting my own kid, but making sure all kids like him have a chance. Lyra leaned against him. We're not just running anymore, she said. No, Jared agreed. Now we're fighting. And somewhere far away in the dark corners of space, someone was watching, waiting. Because they knew. The most important child in the galaxy was on the move, and they wanted it. Lyra felt the change before anyone else did. It started with a sharp pain in her chest, not like sickness, but like something waking up inside her. She gasped and fell to her knees. Jared caught her just in time. Lyra, he shouted. What's wrong? She couldn't answer at first. Her eyes were wide, unfocused. Then she whispered, He's speaking. Jared looked around. They were alone in their small ship, parked, on a quiet moon orbiting a forgotten planet. Who's speaking? He asked. The baby, she said. He's talking, in my mind. Jared didn't know what to say. He had seen a lot in his life. War, death, space battles. But this was new. Then Lyra screamed, not from pain, from fear. He knows things, she said. Things I don't. Things no one should know. Before Jared could ask more, the lights flickered. The ship's systems blinked off and on by themselves. Tools floated off the table for a second, then dropped. What the hell was that? Jared muttered. Lyra stood slowly. Her hands trembled. It wasn't me, she said. It was him. Dr. Solon arrived 2 days later. She had been tracking them through secret channels. When she saw Lyra, she knew something big was happening. This is it, Dr. Solon said. The child is awakening. Lyra sat across from her. He says he remembers things. Not from me, not from us, from before. Dr. Solon frowned. Before what? Before anything, Lyra whispered. He says he was there when stars were born. That he remembers our people fleeing. Jared stepped forward. You're saying this kid remembers history before humans even existed? Lyra nodded. He calls himself Elian. Dr. Solon looked stunned. That means bridge between stars in an ancient language we thought was made up. Lyra touched her belly again. He says he is both human and alien, but also more. They moved to a hidden base deep in the asteroid belt. It was run by a group called the Free Clans, a mix of humans, aliens, and outcasts who wanted peace in space. There, Lyra trained, not just to fight, but to control her growing powers. She could now sense danger before it came. She could move small objects without touching them. Sometimes she could even see into the future. And Alien grew stronger every day. One night she told Jared, he says something is coming. Something that destroyed my people. Jared didn't ask questions. He just nodded. When? He asked. Lyra closed her eyes. Soon, news reached them fast. Across human space, reports began to surface, strange signals from deep space. Ships disappearing near old wormholes. Lights in the sky that didn't belong to any known fleet. Then came the message. It was broadcasted across all frequencies. No warning. Just a voice. Cold, calm, and ancient. We have found you. We are returning. You will return what was taken. Jared watched the message with Dr. Solon and Lyra. Who the hell is that? He asked. Lyra turned pale. They're the ones who destroyed my world, she said. The ones we ran from. Dr. Solon looked at the screen. They're not just sending a message. They're testing us. For what? Jared asked. To see if we're ready, Lyra said quietly. For what? To see if we deserve to survive. Jared didn't waste time. He sent word to everyone they had met on the run. Kale the traitor, rebel pilots, ex-soldiers, alien refugees. Anyone who would fight. We can't run anymore, he said. We need to stand our ground. Lyra stood beside him. And we need to protect our child. Kale looked at them both. You realize what you're doing, right? You're not just protecting a baby. You're protecting the future of 2 species. Jared smiled. Then we better make sure it has one. The sky darkened 3 nights later. A massive alien fleet appeared above Earth. No flags, no warnings, just ships, thousands of them, blocking out the sun. People panicked. Governments scrambled. Some wanted to surrender. Others wanted to fight. But before anyone could decide, Lyra stood up. She walked outside, looked at the sky, and raised her hand. A beam of light shot from her palm into the stars. Something answered. Signal, ancient, powerful. The beacon woke up, hidden across the galaxy. Other hybrids, children like Elian, felt it too. Some cried, some laughed, some stood up and looked to the stars, because they knew this was the beginning of everything. Across the planet, people stared up in fear. Some dropped to their knees. Others ran for cover. Governments sent messages begging for peace. But no one knew what to do, except one man. Jared Voss stood on a small base hidden beneath the mountains of Alaska. Around him were soldiers, rebels, and even aliens who had chosen to fight. Beside him was Lyra. She looked at the sky. Her eyes glowed softly. "They're waiting for us to act," she said. Jared tightened his grip on his rifle. "Then let's give them something to remember. They didn't have the biggest army. They didn't have the best weapons, but they had something the enemy didn't expect. Unity. Humans from every corner of space answered the call. Fighter pilots from Mars, soldiers from Venus Station, scientists from Europa who hacked enemy signals. Even AI colonies joined the fight, sending drones and ships without pilots. And then came the hybrids. Children born between species, like Alien, began appearing across the battlefield. Some were young, some were old. All of them felt the beacon Lyra had sent. They fought not for power, not for control, but for family, for home, for the right to exist. Jared led a strike team through the enemy lines. Their mission was simple: reach the command ship and shut down the core. It wasn't easy. Enemy soldiers were fast, strong, smart. They moved like machines, never showing fear. But Jared had learned a few things in war. He didn't fight fair. He used traps. He used speed. He used the terrain. And most of all, he used heart. As they pushed deeper into the enemy fleet, Lyra stayed close. She guided them with her mind, sensing danger before it came. Sometimes she stopped bullets with a wave of her hand. Sometimes she pulled enemy ships out of the sky just by thinking. Elian grew stronger inside her, and so did her voice. Back on Earth, the battle spread. Cities burned, ships crashed, people died. But humans didn't back down. One pilot, a woman named Commander Rhea, flew straight into the largest enemy ship. Her last message: "Tell my daughter I fought for her future." Then she hit the engines. The explosion lit up half the sky. Lyra finally reached the command ship. It floated above the battlefield like a god watching its children play. Inside, she found the leader of the enemy, tall, silver-skinned, with eyes like stars. "You don't understand," he said. "We are not here to destroy you. We are here to test you." "Test?" Jared growled. The alien looked at Lyra. "Your child is not just a mix of two species. He is the key to survival, to evolution." Jared stepped forward. "He's also my son, and if you touch him, I'll tear your world apart." The alien studied him, then he smiled. "You passed." Before anyone could react, the alien raised his hand. All the enemy ships stopped, their weapons powered down. The sky cleared. People across Earth watched in shock as the armada vanished into space. No more attacks, no more death, only silence and hope. Hours later, the survivors gathered. Lyra sat beside Jared on a broken rooftop. The city below was damaged, but alive. "We won," she whispered. Jared looked at her. "You think that's what it was?" She nodded slowly. "They wanted to see if we deserved to survive, if we could protect what matters. And we did," Jared said. Lyra touched her belly. "Because of love, because of family." Jared smiled. Yeah, and because nobody messes with our kid. Lyra laughed softly. Then she looked at the stars again. They're watching now, she said. The whole galaxy. Jared followed her. Gaze. Let them look, he said. We've only just begun. The stars no longer felt so far away. After the battle above Earth, humanity changed, not just in weapons or ships, but in heart. People began to see themselves not just as humans from one planet, but as a species that could stand with the stars. And at the center of it all was a family. Jared Voss had once been a soldier. Now, he was a father, a teacher, a legend. Lyra had once been a lost girl from a forgotten world. Now she was a symbol of hope. And their son, he was something new. Alien grew fast. Like his mother, he learned quickly. By the time he was 5, he could read books meant for adults. By 10, he was building machines no one else understood. But more than that, he felt things. He could sense danger before it came. He could calm storms with a touch, and sometimes when he looked at the sky, he would smile like he knew something the rest of them didn't. Jared asked him once, "Do you know more than us?" Alien nodded. "I remember what came before. I feel what's coming next." Jared laughed. "Well, don't tell me everything. Let me be surprised sometimes." They lived on a quiet moon orbiting a green planet far from war. There were forests that sang in the wind, rivers that glowed at night, and skies full of stars. It was peaceful, safe, happy. But they never forgot why they fought for this life. One day, Alien stood beside Jared and Lyra near the edge of a cliff. Below, the forest stretched forever. "I'm going to leave soon," Alien said. Jared looked at him. "Going where?" he asked. "To learn," Alien said. "To help others like me." Lyra touched his face. "You're still my baby," she whispered. Alien smiled. "And I always will be." Across the galaxy, other hybrids were growing up too. Some lived on human worlds, some on alien ones. Others had built homes in space stations or on planets no one had named yet. They were different. Some had powers. Some had minds faster than light. But they all shared one thing. They were born from love, from loss, from war. And now, they were ready to build peace. One night, Alien stood alone beneath the stars. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small locket. Inside were 2 pictures. One of Jared, one of Lyra. Underneath the words, "The day humanity stood up and fell in love with the stars." He closed the locket and looked up. Far away, a ship waited for him. It wasn't a warship. It was a bridge. A gift from both humans and aliens who now worked together. Its name? The Firstborn, because Alien was the first of many, the first child of 2 worlds, the first hope for a galaxy that once feared difference. Now it celebrated it. Jared and Lyra stood behind him as he stepped onto the ramp. "You sure about this?" Jared asked. Alien nodded. "I have to go," he said. "There's still so much to learn, so much to teach." Lyra hugged him tight. "I'll miss you every day," she said. Alien kissed her cheek. "I'll always be with you," he whispered, "in your heart." Then he turned and walked aboard the ship. As the engines roared to life, Jared looked at Lyra. "You okay?" he asked. She wiped a tear and smiled. "Yes," she said, "because I know he'll make the universe better." Jared looked at the stars. "So will we." The ship lifted off. Slowly it rose into the sky. People across the moon watched. Children pointed. Old men smiled. And somewhere, far beyond the stars, other ships answered. Not with war, not with fear, but with welcome. Because the galaxy had finally learned what it meant to grow, to change, to become something more. Together.